Just to reflect first on the Savills, brilliant moment for Noel Meade, obviously, with Affordale Fury. What a trainer Noel is. He's been in the game a long, long time. But just to reflect on that race and how you think that'll impact first the Irish Gold Cup and then the Gold Cup at Cheltenham. Obviously, Gallup and Deschamps, I thought, ran very well at a time when Willie's horses probably weren't firing on what was his first run of the season. And I am Maximus was an interesting one in there in second, but you'd find it hard to see him winning a Gold Cup, I think.
Yeah, I could see Maximus being placed in a Gold Cup. I can't see him winning a Gold Cup. I thought Gallup and Deschamps' comeback run, he missed his usual run in the John Durkin. So it was his first start of the season. I thought he ran an absolute blinder. I think he'll prove a hell of a lot for it. Willie's horses, as you say, weren't firing at the time. He's not beaten all that far. I'd be very, very confident that he'll turn the form around with Affordale Fury at the Dublin Racing Festival, if Affordale Fury goes there. If I was Noel Meade, I'd definitely be going there with Affordale Fury, because I think the Gold Cup in Cheltenham, the way he jumps out to his right, he's got no chance around Cheltenham. He might get away with it around Leopardstown, but you won't get away with that around Cheltenham. And I'd be backing Gallup and Deschamps in the Irish Gold Cup. I think that run will leave him spot on now. If Willie gets a clear run with him between Christmas and the Dublin Racing Festival, he'll take all the beating.
Yeah, he's got some record around Leopardstown as well. I think that was his first loss at Leopardstown. I think he was 7 out of 7 before that.
I'm looking forward to hear that Leopardstown roar again when he jumps to last anyway, because I was in the stands watching it there at Christmas, and when he jumped to the front, I've never heard a crowd roar like it. And actually, Paul Hanlon said last year, I already heard some interview during the week, that when he jumped to the front down the back straight last year in the Irish Gold Cup, he said he could hear the crowd, and he was saying maybe I wasn't concentrating enough, but that just shows the following the horse has. And I thought his comeback run was very good. And I don't know, maybe Noel might try go straight to Cheltenham with
I'd say
Fury.
I'd say he'd go straight,
but
I hope he does, because he's by affinity, and he's at home, so it's a big help. So to get a Grade 1 winner like him when you have standing outside the back door, you know.
He did say no. I remember, didn't he say to the owners that that day was as well as he ever probably was going to be or had be. So maybe that was his Gold Cup, and he got it.
There was a lot of money for him on the day.
He was well backed on the day, but
I saw a photo of the owner's bet. He'd done the double with the bumper winner on Stephen's Day, and
unfortunately with us as well.
And I saw he was away skiing the week after, so I'd say that paid for the
25 to 1 and 16 to 1. Yeah, I think Affordale Fury was as big as 40 to 1 a couple of days before the race. He went off around 8 to 1 or 7.
The Gold Cup market is wide open at the moment. I think Gallup and Deschamps will change that at the Dublin Racing Festival, but I'd find it very hard to back Affordale Fury in a Gold Cup in Cheltenham, the way he jumps out to his right. You're on the turn so much in Cheltenham. It's like, do you think fifth class, around them down to the third class, you're going out right, you're giving away a lot of ground. Yeah, you can't do that in the Gold Cup.
Fourth class.
But don't think about it now. Maybe he might do it the next day.
He's done it every day.
He's done it,
yeah, not as bad as the other day now.
And he won't.
You can't teach no dog new tricks.
He won't get his own way in a Gold Cup either. You don't. No. You don't hack around in front. Like they put the pressure on from the very minute the tapes are up.
If he runs in the Irish Gold Cup, he won't get his own way anyway, because Haiti is coming over. He'll take them down and play with Gallup as well. So
that'll be a great race.
Yeah,
a great race. And
some performance
the
by
Dublin
him.
Festival there is going to be some festival. Like, it's going to be unreal.
What about Haiti Colours? Obviously stepping from handicap company into a Grade 1. We've seen it go wrong many times. To see a horse with the ability to make it work.
It was a fair performance in Chepstow, top weight on heavy ground, but it is a big step up. Like, he's rated
Chepstow this year was actually decent ground. It was for the first time. There was a horse taken out in Chepstow for the ground being too quick. So
yeah,
it was very unlike, but it was a very good performance. But it's that next level. It's that big step now from
a big step
from top weight and handicap to being a Grade 1 horse. And to me, he still has to improve a little bit.
Yeah, and I find when they win big handicaps with top weight, their rating gets pushed higher than probably what the performance was, just because of a weight carrying performance. If you go through dissect the form, he's not probably running to a rating of what he has. It's just with the weight he's carrying.
A big horse like him is able to give weight away to lesser horses. Level weights with Grade 1 horses, I'm not so sure.
I think Sam, that there'd be a different class than him. You know, no, he was very good, but I think that as Rob said, he'd given it away weight. You can do that with a big horse, but when you're taking on a nice tidy horse and good galloping horse, it's very hard to do it.
But he's perfectly entitled to go and find out.
Yep.
And the only Leopardstown suit him because he jumps well. And to jump, down the back straight there, if he gets into a good rhythm, he'll be involved, but it'll be a big step up, I'd say.
And one horse that did make that jump was, I know the way you're thinking, obviously, was a very well-backed winner of the Kim Muir at Cheltenham a couple of years ago, went on to win the Gold Cup the next year, took massive step forwards as well throughout that season, all the way to Cheltenham, got supplemented for the race, but it's gone fairly wrong since for him this season. I think it's quite hard to see him being involved on the Cotswolds, isn't it?
It's like Liverpool. He's gone from being champions to making a rapid decline.
You can't sack his manager, look, innit?
No, and that's, look, Gold Cup is a hard race. It takes it out of horses. Maybe the Gold Cup has left his mark on him. I don't know. Now, Gavin Cromwell's horses haven't been on fire all season, but still he's getting beaten way too far.
He's not even getting involved.
No, he's going to have to redeem himself big time at the Dublin Racing Festival. I hope he does. I'd love to see him do it for Gavin, but he needs to take a huge step forward.
Yeah, but a lot of Gavin's horses for the last 6 months there just haven't been clicking.
But they're still getting placed, or they're getting involved. But
but
like in handicaps and that, they still having horses being placed. He's been out with the washing his last 2 starts.
Yes, but like Gavin's horses, he had 200 since November. He had 200 runners or something, and 5 winners. When like with good horses.
But this horse has disimproved about 16 or 17 pounds.
Oh,
on his rate, more like 20. He's running
60 or 70 pounds.
Well, like, you know, and
he wouldn't win a modern handicap
how,
race the way he's
like,
run.
I don't think how you can be happy with the runs.
You couldn't be.
And like,
but when your horses are not right, lads, there's very little they can do. You
Oh,
all
that's it,
know
yeah.
you're in a yard there, and every trainer is doing their best to get everything, and there's some little thing wrong. You're doing bloods, you're testing hay, you're testing everything, and it's just not happening. And we all know about it, so we do. And then they'll come back, and that 16 pound, if they happen to, like, you still have a couple of months, and that 16 pound could come back overnight.
Or else the only other worry, you'd have some horses that hits a major effect on it and they don't come back.
They don't.
And it can't,
That's right,
you know, they can. I've seen it in yards where they've that bit of a virus or whatever was going around has hit certain horses worse than others, and they just don't come back.
No,
you know, it just affects their immune systems.
Serious thought is, and this year I think a lot of stables, there's been a lot of sick horses in stables. The weather was so kind, and everyone was waiting for a bit of frost. Now we got a bit of frost, but it wasn't enough. I'd love to see frost for a week now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wouldn't like that to blow everything out.
Yeah.
The people are the same. Every second person you meet, they're sick or they have a cold or whatever. And the horses are the very same. You have one rug on a horse, he's too cold. You put 2 rugs on him, he's too warm. You go in at 9 o'clock at night, and the horses are there, and you have 2 rugs on, they're sweating. Go out in the morning, take off one rug, go out in the morning, they're
I
cold.
saw the other
You see
morning.
it yourself there.
Last Tuesday, I was at home and it was -1 at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Came out the next morning at 7:30 and it was 11 degrees.
Yeah.
Do you know, that's the same with humans. So it's just, and when a virus like that lingers around the big yard, if it is a virus, it's possible to get rid of.
Yeah, it's been a funny season. Obviously, we saw Willie couldn't get a winner before Christmas. Now he's operating at 32% strike rate. Gordon was absolutely on fire all through Christmas, and now he's operating at 3% strike rate. It's amazing how it goes. But that's been another big story of the Irish season. This kind of Gordon-Willie struggle at the top of the Trainers' Championship. I think Gordon's around, was it 600 grand or so ahead? I'm just looking at the graphic.
820, is it?
So he's what? It's quick maths is not my forte, but look, he's
700.
650 odd ahead. I mean, he's held bigger leads than that in the past. Willie's horses are really starting to fire now just before the DRF. He'll eat into that lead pretty quick.
It doesn't matter. In 2017, Gordon going into Punchestown was over 500,000 in front of Willie.
Yeah.
And Willie still beat him.
After the first day was over.
If Gordon keeps saying to himself, he's no chance, and there's a little part of him deep down that is looking at that
I think
prize
he wakes up every morning and he says, I'm going to be champion trainer. So.
and there's no doubt he will be champion trainer someday. Absolutely no doubt. But if Gordon is to have any chance of beating Willie or even leading Willie into Punchestown, he has to have a good DRF.
Yeah,
There's
100%.
absolutely, if Willie cleans up with the DRF, the whole thing is over. Forget about it.
It is, but I think that Gordon has better horses.
100%.
There's better novices at the minute anyway.
He has,
Yeah,
and I think Gordon has. I know there's only 600,000. He'd probably like to be a lot more from, but I don't think Willie's going to get his own way in DFF this year towards other years.
I don't think Willie's not going to win every grade 1 at
No,
DRF
no,
this year.
no,
he
definitely
he
not.
won't win every grade 1 of it. Last year, he doesn't win every grade 1 of it. But Gordon needs to win
2, 3.
at least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah,
And still be 500,000 or 600,000 in front of Willie coming out of the DRF to have any hope. He really needs to break even with Willie to the DRF.
I'd say Willie has in the back of his mind too, because he's not firing much in Tingnan for the big race in England there at the moment. He's keeping all the horses at home.
Yeah.
Like I'd say he has forgot about the English Championship this year.
Yeah.
Because Dan is gone. Like, do you know, Willie'd have to have some Cheltenham, wouldn't he? He'd have to have some Cheltenham.
And he'd
will
probably
have
have
some
to get
Cheltenham.
another
He
1,
wouldn't have
2,
won it
3,
last
5,
year.
7 in the national as
He
well.
wouldn't have won it
I'd say,
last
yeah.
year if he didn't win the national. So
He wouldn't have won it. So like, and sure, he had 4 out of the first 5 in the national or something. So he took all the money out of the national.
yeah.
But I'd say he has no chance of winning it this year.
But I don't know what Gordon's going to do with DRF, but the likes of his Monge 2, Ballyfads, Romeo Coolio, they need to
come out
to
and
win at DRF for Gordon to be still in with a chance of. I still think he'll struggle, but he has to have a good DRF to have any chance of overhauling Willie.
And obviously, all of Gordon's winners at Christmas, a lot of them were in bumpers or novice hurdles or maiden hurdles. Willie still picked up 2 Grade 1s. Willie has all those established Grade 1 performers, where Gordon probably has the potential, but a lot of his horses aren't quite there yet.
Yeah, that's been the way for the last number of years. Willie has the more established horses and the longevity's in them. And we always talked about Willie not having a great Christmas. He had more winners this year than he had last year at Christmas.
Just
I
shows
didn't know
the
it was
standard.
more
More
yeah,
in
the
Limerick,
standards,
maybe.
yeah.
There were a lot of them in Limerick.
I know there was,
They're
but
still winners,
it's still
yeah.
winners. He had 10 winners. He had 7 last year. Galloping Deschamps won the Gold Cup last year. He didn't win it this year. If he wins the Gold Cup this year, it's a whole different story. But yeah, look, the DRF's going to tell an awful lot.
Oh, it's be a great meeting.
Absolutely. I'm sure you wouldn't have minded the Grade 1 winner down in Limerick Shark, though, in that fight.
I need them Grade 1s to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, it's going to be it's going to be a serious meeting, so it is. And I think even with Gordon, Willie thing now, it's going to make it more interesting again than it was last year. Even,
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
So,
100%.
and like, if Gordon comes out and wins 3 Grade 1s in it, right? Punchestown's going to be some meeting. You know, down the road, we're talking down the road, but like they'll be going into Punchestown and they'll be hoping that if Gordon is a million in front of Willie or something like that, Willie will have some catching on him. You know.
I think it's great to see Gordon with like a couple of favourites in the Dublin Racing Festival, like the novice, the 2 mile novice hurdle, you've Ballyfad, you know, whereas the last couple of years Willie's gone in with odds-on shots for all novices, you know, so it's good for the crowd. It's going to be great for the public. And I think there'll be more people there than ever before, because looking, there's no rugby game on in
Yeah,
Aviva,
and it was Ireland,
which
England
is
last
usually
year.
always a bit of a killer.
If you took the English people out the second day, the last day, lads, there weren't too many people in it.
But there's no Ireland game on, so I think that'll give the
English people out
crowds.
the second day, everyone you met was English. You know,
It's cheaper to come here than Cheltenham anyway.
it is, yeah.
Probably the clash between those 2 stables that people are most looking forward to is the Irish Arkle, Romeo Coolio and Kopek de Board, if we do see him there. 2 miles for Romeo Coolio. Do you think he might just be outgunned for pace by Kopek?
I think if Kopek shows up, yes, he galloped into the ground in Cheltenham. And now I know Romeo has improved over fences, but I was very impressed with Kopek in Navan. I didn't think I wasn't sure how he'd adapt to fences, but he jumped a lot better than I thought he would. He looks a real 2 miler. He doesn't waste time in the air, very quick through the air, and it's a big ask, but to me, he would have won the race at Christmas time, and if he shows up here, I think he'll just have too much pace for Romeo.
Yeah, I think the same. I think he's a really good horse, and if he shows up, the 5s at the minute is just not very strong. But I hope he does turn up, because he's a class horse, and if he turns up, he'll win.
Yeah, I think he's on the slide on the betting front. I think he's out to around 2 to 1.
Gordon said it in Leopardstown. He said, I remember Brian Gleeson interviewed him, and he said there's probably more of a chance of Romeo going up and trip in Cheltenham than down and trip.
Right.
He actually basically said he was going up and trip without committing to it.
And you know what race he'll have to go to if he
so
does
does
go
he
up
go
and
for
trip?
the 2-5?
He goes for the Browns or he goes for the Ryanair.
The race, he doesn't go to the right now. No way. I actually watched the race in Leopardstown. Stevens' day. Gordon was standing beside me, and he thought the whole way up the straight he was beaten. In the last 100 yards, he got on top. That form of beating Irish Panther, who's a very good horse in his own right, is not good enough to beat Kopek de Board over fences. He said that's the last time you'll see him over 2 mile. Now it's 2-1 in Leopardstown. He needed every yard of the 2-1 to get on top of Irish Panther. I think Irish Panther's interested in going back. The race I want to see at the Dublin Racing Festival is Final Demand, Romeo Coolio and Kitzbühel. That's the race I want to see.
Yeah, they both look incredible.
I don't think for the life of me
Great
that
race.
Kitzbühel would run. But even the Final Demand against Romeo Coolio would answer an awful lot of questions. That'd be a great race. Because I think Romeo Coolio, from anywhere from 2.5 to 3 mile, is a very, very good horse.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he did go down that route, whether he went to the Bryan advisory at Cheltenham or does he bypass Cheltenham and go for Aintree or Punchestown?
He'll go to Cheltenham.
Yeah.
With the owners and everything, Romeo Coolio will go to Cheltenham. But
You
it's
think
a bit-
over 3 mile?
Yeah, he has to go 3 mile, yeah. I think so, definitely. Now, ground can always change your mind. If Cheltenham did, for some reason, start off and has done before on very heavy ground, then you can look back at the 2 mile race. But I think whatever ground you get in Cheltenham, if Kopek de Borg is there fitting well, he's going to beat Romeo Coolio over 2 mile.
Yeah, and that's not even bringing Lulamba into the discussion either, who looks
Exactly,
all
yeah.
speed as well.
That'll be some race if the two of them get their Lulamba and Kopek de Bois.
Yeah.
That'll be a proper race.
And I know you're saying that Garn's horse are not just licking at the moment. He run everything at Christmas. Everything at Christmas. And I think the horse that he's running for the last 2 weeks are just not top class horses. But when he come back for the Racing Festival, he'll have all the good guns back again.
He's a big selection to choose from.
Yeah,
All
it's
the
big.
novice
Yeah,
horses, so
yeah.
like they're not all going to run.
No.
He'll run 1, 2 maybe in
But
the
he'd pick out
novices.
the ones that he wants to run, the most forward horses or whatever. But I wouldn't worry about Gordon's form at the minute because he's just running the lower grade horses.
They're winning down Royal yesterday. They're running fine. They're
running
not
fine.
horses
It's
finishing
not
second and
thing.
third.
It's 3 weeks.
And as
since
Stark says,
like,
they're modern horses. As 3 weeks ago, he was on top of the world, and that's fine. He's not gone anywhere. Like,
No. And
he's
they're
running a lesser standard
I
of
don't
horse.
read. I don't read into that at
The
all.
horses
don't know.
that he had 3 weeks ago are top class horses. And the horses that he'll run in a couple of weeks' time are top class horses, right? And the ones in the middle are ones that he has to run for different owners or whatever the case may be. And you're running for 10 grand, 7 grand, 8 grand. It doesn't really matter if it's the winner or not for him. He is the top horses to come still. And he will have them all ready for Christmas or for Leopardstown.
And just looking at the DRF as well, I mean, a lot of people will be looking at one of the maidens because we're going to see El Kairos back in action. He looked good at Leopardstown before he came down at the last. Is he up there with the leading Irish Supreme horses at the moment?
He is. He's the most. He didn't win, but he was going to be the most impressive I've saw all season. He
that
looked
turn
like
of
a
pace
rocket.
is-
to be
yeah.
honest,
He
you
did,
know.
yeah.
And like
I think he should
Willie's
be
horse
there,
was well regarded. Dr. Dumanil. And he was going to kick him into the ground, you know. So I think he would, if he, you know, he's worth having a crack at the Grade 1. He won't.
Yeah.
Gordon said he's going to go for maiden hurdle the week after, but if he ran the Grade 1, I think he'd win.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the horse should be favoured for the Supreme.
I think he is he? Oh no,
not.
Nicky's
the
is now.
Henderson horse.
Henderson's the one that held
Yeah,
up
he was
last week. Was very
impressive.
impressive.
Yeah.
But that's all well and good saying that, Jack. He did take a heavy fall at the last. I'd
Yeah,
prefer
yes,
to see him
come
come
back.
out and
Win.
jump around the next day and win before I'd be going
Whatever
back.
race it is.
And it maybe after he wins his maiden hurdle the next day, he will be favoured
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
Supreme.
I'd
But
say he will.
I just would like to see him come out, that he hasn't had a fright, that he hasn't lost his confidence completely. I'm sure he won't, because Gordon would have jumped 100 hurdles with him between Christmas and whenever he runs this maiden hurdle. But if he goes for a maiden hurdle with him, he's doing the right thing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Just-
And we all know the engine is there. He's run well at Cheltenham before, so he ticks all the boxes.
He ran very well in Champion Bumper last year. So.
Yeah, and that turn of foot as well at Leopardstown between the last 2 hurdles was
He seems so
out of
quick.
this
He
world.
was
seems
doing
so
a has be turning in like in a
The only
Leopardstown maiden.
the only reason he felt he was going too well. You know, he
Speed wobble.
Speed
wobble, yeah.
It was
Darrell
good.
O'Keefe rode a nice horse for us in the race, and he thought off the bend he had a chance, and next thing this thing came up on his outside and he went, what is this?
Yeah,
And it was
it's as impressive as I was ever going to see a maiden
I'd say
hurdle
the
for a
same.
long time.
I'd say
the
I haven't seen a horse turn into Leopardstown like that in a long time now.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to him. I know we've already touched on the Irish Gold Cup. Plenty of interesting horses running. Haiti, Calors, Galloping the Champ. I know the way you're thinking and co. It's going to be an interesting race. Galloping is short enough though at 5-4, but he is still very firmly in his camp.
Gallopin will win and he'll take the roof off Leopardstown stand when he goes by the line as well. He'll paw it buck out. He'll just do his usual on him, and he still jumped to the lead at the last at Christmas, and that extra couple of weeks fitness under his belt.
Yeah.
I think he's the one I'm looking forward to see most.
Listen to the roar of the crowd when he jumped the last. It's it's only a matter of going there, I think.
Yeah, I think Galloping the Champ wins. I think they come on a lot for the run Christmas, and the race, Haiti Colours will give him a good lead into the race, and it'll be all set up for him. I think he'll take all the beating.
Well, gents, there's a there's a new headline maker in Irish racing, Barry Connell, who's been pretty out there with some of his comments, calling the Clarence House a Mickey Mouse race, saying all Marine Nationale has to do is jump around at Cheltenham to win the champion chase as well. He's going to be put to the test, though, on Sunday of the DRF in the Dublin chase. He's got some decent opposition to take on there.
Yeah, it'll be a good race. Poor John Bon getting called Mickey Mouse. So I wouldn't mind knowing John Bon.
He only won 11 Grade 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind knowing Mickey Mouse then, that's for sure. But no, look, it's okay. Yes, he is talking up, and do I agree with some of the things he's saying? No, but the horse is a weapon. There's no doubt about it. For him to do what he did at Christmas time with that mistake, there is very, very few horses in training that would be able to come back and do what he did. I know he got beaten, but to get it as involved as he did,
He lost nothing in defeat.
No. To me, he wins this. Bar the only way he'll get beaten if the ground comes up heavy, and I'd say if it does, he won't run.
I definitely won't run if it gets soft.
So the ground will be dependent, but if there's ground is the same the way was at Christmas, he wins. Simple as.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got a handful of naysayers saying his runs at Leopardstown, Solness has beaten him 3 times.
Yeah, like you can make as much as you want out of this mistake he's after making. It's a second fence. They're not going a million miles an hour at the time. He's loads of time to. Now, if he'd have fallen off him, Sean Flanagan wouldn't like looking back on it, because I think it was, and I think Sean's very, very good, but it was a little bit his fault as well. But the horse didn't hit the fence. He didn't go galloping down into it and burst. He just let fly at it, pitched Sean, and Sean very nearly fell off him. He's got back into rhythm within 100 yards. He's back in his rhythm. He hasn't lost that much ground. So I don't think the ground he lost at the time of the race, if it happened 3 out,
Yeah,
or
it's
2
a
out,
race.
Well,
totally different.
If it happened 3 out, he wouldn't have finished.
Totally different.
Pull him up.
But where it happened in the race hadn't started. So there was no big urgency. He got back in. He was back in before he jumped the next fence in his position he was in before. I don't think Solness gets enough credit around Leopardstown. I thought he was tough, hardy. They could have gone down to the fence past the stands, and he still mightn't have passed him, you know. So he's not the biggest certainty as Barry Connell thinks he is. He more than likely will win on nice ground, and he's entitled to be favourite and the one they have to beat. But I've seen shorter price certainties getting beaten than him now. So yeah, look, leave him go and do the talking.
Yeah, and he seems to properly come alive in the spring as well. I mean,
Sun
been
in his
brilliant.
back.
Completely, the
Good ground
ground
horse, yeah.
the ground is a big issue for him. He has to have nice ground.
Yeah.
And if the ground was good, I think he'd be on it, no problem. But if there was a cut in the ground, or if it ended up yielding the soft ground, he probably won't run him. But if he did, Sanders could be him,
On soft ground, he definitely beat him, yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's a
But he
cracking
wouldn't
race.
be him on
Yeah,
good
yeah.
ground.
That's the 2 mile chasers. Onto the 2 mile hurdlers for the Irish champion. Bit of a rematch from Christmas with Brighter Days Ahead and Lossy Mouth, but we've got Amsterdam in there, who I know you like the chances of, and a couple of others that could perhaps spoil the party a wee bit.
I think it's going to be a similar race to Christmas. I think Brighter Days Ahead is going to improve more than Lossy Mount. But there's just something there that's telling me that Amsterdam is going to get a lot closer if they can hold on to him and ride him pure cool and have one little rattle at them. I think there'll be a lot. Maybe he won't win, but I can picture the 3 of them going hammer and tongs down to the last, and whatever stays best wins then. I think Brighter Days Ahead maybe took a blow at Christmas time, and I like the way she hit the line. Lossy Mount, Paul got sucked into following Paddy, maybe turning out to the back straight, which he had to commit a bit sooner. But I just there's something telling me that, and the vibes from Amsterdam are very good. Obviously, what he did, and he ran so close to them with the way he ran. So I'm looking forward to see him, and it's an exciting race.
Yeah, even on his Irish debut, he looked a proper
He did
horse.
just,
Yeah.
just there's something about him. He's a little bit freaky himself or something. And them horses, they can do that again. When they bolt once, they can bolt again, can't they, Rob? You see it. I fancy Brighter Days Ahead. I think that's just going to improve leaps and bounds. And herself and Lassie Mount will come down probably to the last or second last together. I just think the other horse, I need them horse to have that little freak in him. I couldn't be with him.
And Robbie, you're obviously probably in the Lossy Mouth.
I'm
camp, are
Lossy
you?
Mouth all day long. I think no doubt Brighter Days Ahead will improve for the run of Christmas, but don't think she'll improve enough. I think Lossy Mouth is the one they'll have to beat, and Amsterdam, just from a punting point of view, there's far too many questions to be answered to go back on him. I'd like to go and see him do it. If he settles and drops it at the back and switches off till they get to the turn in, then it could be a different story. He might have more pace than the whole lot of them. But the most straightforward operation in the race is Lossiemouth.
Where's the pace angle going to come from, I'm wondering?
I think they'll change tactics on brighter days ahead. Now she's had the run, drop out in her roll the way she won the race. And if Lossiemouth hasn't the pace to lie into her, then she has a chance of beating Lossiemouth. But that's the only reason the way I can see brighter days ahead winning is going back to
something else in it. I didn't look.
It's Cachet Lad.
Cachet Lad's in it, but he's also
not quick
he's
enough
in
to
an
go.
ace
No,
this
he's not
week.
good enough to be running.
He could go with her though for
Carrier,
3 furlongs.
I remember doing previews last year. My biggest worry for brighter days ahead in the champion hurdle was that there wouldn't be anything quick enough to carry her for long enough.
Yeah.
And Gordon says, no, once you get her going, she's all right. So if Cachet Lad let her down over the first 3 hurdles and then she was able to go, fine. But that's the only reason I can see brighter days ahead reversing the form is if she gets Lossiemouth out of her comfort zone early on.
And the quicker they go will take Anselm out of the picture as well, because they'll need her to turn it to sprint for him to be involved.
He couldn't do that really at Christmas because I'd say he felt that she wasn't fit enough to do
No,
it.
that's her first run, and it would be madness to do it at Christmas, but now is the time to do it.
Yeah.